What's going on, guys? In today's video I'm going to discuss how you can actually drink a lot of alcohol and still reach your goals, still build muscle or lose fat. I think we all know that it doesn't matter if you drink alcohol in moderation, if you have 1 to 2 glasses 2 times a week. What I'm talking about is going completely balls to the walls, drinking too much, getting messed up, and getting drunk. Right? Because I know a lot of students, they want to do this, but they also want to make progress in the gym. So today I'm going to explain some myths by the fitness gurus out there that say alcohol cannot be consumed by anyone that wants to build muscle or lose fat. I'm not saying you will get optimal results, probably not optimal, but not every person out there wants to compete or wants to be in the best shape ever and spend every single day reaching that goal. Some people just want to be in good shape and look great, and you can still build plenty of muscle while drinking. I actually can't consider myself an example because I don't drink that often, but my brother does, and he drinks 3 to 5 times a week. And I'm not talking about 3 drinks, I'm talking about getting fucked up. And he made a lot of progress in the last 2 years. He actually started lifting around 2 years ago. And the reason for it is that he knows what he's doing with his diet. I teach him the basics long time ago, and now he has the experience as well, so he can play around with that a little bit, and he knows how to train properly. If you know those 2 things, you can drink a lot of alcohol sometimes, in his situation even 3 to 5 times a week, and not get fat and still build muscle, because he still does, and he gets stronger. He trains with a hangover and he sets PRs. It's crazy, guys, but it is possible. I've done it myself too. I had a post on Instagram maybe 2 weeks ago where I drank half a bottle of Bacardi, I think. And the day afterwards I was squatting. It is possible, and I set some PRs. So what are the biggest misconceptions about alcohol usage in the fitness industry? Well, the first one being testosterone. A lot of fitness gurus claim that alcohol lowers testosterone levels. And yes, it's true, it does lower testosterone. But those effects are so small that it doesn't matter anyhow for your muscle building. Let me see here. I got a study where men and women consume 3 beers a day for 3 weeks, and they had a 6.8 reduction in testosterone levels, which is nothing. If you drink so much that you get into a hospital, you would get a testosterone drop of 20%. But keep in mind, it only lasts for 16 hours, because after the alcohol is gone, your testosterone levels will go back to normal. So it's nothing to worry about. It's nothing to worry about. Another study I got here had a look at hormonal response after post-workout alcohol. 6 to 7 beers post-workout, and no changes in testosterone were found, and only a slight, modest effect on cortisol. So we definitely got that myth out of the way. It doesn't matter for testosterone or cortisol levels. You shouldn't worry about it. If it does, it only lasts for some hours and then it's gone. Alright, so now another thing, protein synthesis. This is probably the biggest thing that people are misinformed about. Drinking alcohol would lower protein synthesis and therefore reduce your gains. Which, if it did lower protein synthesis greatly, then it would actually harm your gains. But strangely enough, the acute effects of alcohol on protein synthesis have never been researched on humans, ever. It has been studied in chronic alcohol, so alcohol abuse, but that's not what I'm talking about here today. I'm not talking about the abusage of alcohol, okay? If you're an alcohol abuser, then I'm sure you do not even want to lift weights. That's a completely different topic. I'm talking about people who want to go out at night and drink a lot. And those chronic users, yes, they have reduced levels of protein synthesis. But that's not relevant here. And studies have been done on rats. But again, that's not applicable in human psychology because we cope with macronutrients in a different way than rats. Okay, so now let's talk about fat storage. Because a lot of people are wondering about this. When you drink alcohol, people who drink a lot of alcohol seem to be fatter. A lot of people think that when you drink alcohol, it gets directly turned into fat or something, but it will be oxidized to carbon dioxide and water. So it will not turn into fat or something. That's not the way it works. So the reason you're getting fat when you drink alcohol is because you drunk out. That's your problem. When you drink alcohol, you come home and you eat a whole box of cereal, or you eat a lot of fries when you go out, you eat pizza and all that kind of crap. That's what's making you fat. If you adjust your macros and you calculate the alcohol macronutrients in it, then there's no way you're gonna get fat when you're eating less calories than you need. So I think we can conclude that those negative effects have been exaggerated by the fitness media. I'm not saying you cannot get fat by drinking alcohol or that it's good for you. but I am saying that it is possible to get results if you do it the smart way. So when you drink alcohol, you can actually calculate those calories within your daily meal plan. If you do not have a meal plan, you just eat what you like, then simply eat less fats and less carbs on that day. Keep the protein high. You want to keep it a little bit higher even on that day. And then you can drink some alcohol and you'll be fine because your calorie total will be the same at the end of the day. And alcohol is actually labeled as 7.1 calories per gram. But this is actually not true because of the thermic effect of food. And I'm not going to talk too deep into this, but the amount of actual calories is around 5.7, 5.8. So do with that information whatever you want to do. I usually just count it as 7 just to be sure when I'm cutting, trying to lose body fat. If I'm bulking, then you can also go for 6, for example. So I hope I explained how those myths are not actually true and how you can still drink and still make progress in the gym. It doesn't actually matter that much. It does matter, obviously, but if you do it sometimes, it'll not hurt that much. So thank you guys for watching. If you have any more questions, feel free to leave them down below. Make sure to like the video if you like the video, and subscribe to the channel for more. Peace out, guys.